everybody, Chad Westport here, and I am stoked to be setting up my next round of AutoPots. Now, you may have seen the grows that I've done with the 7-gallon, the 1XL AutoPot. 7 gallons, 4 of them in my 4x4, grown some of my biggest, best plants in there. Super easy. I love it, and there's a few reasons why I want to do AutoPots. One, I'm looking for the easiest and most efficient way to get people growing. Watering sounds easy. Actually, well, it can be done, but it's one of the most common mistakes people make when growing. So AutoPot Systems takes that out of the equation for you. Selfishly, I want to go on vacation. And if you've been following me for the last year or two, you know that when I go on vacation, I do not have a green thumb able to watch my plants, and I come back to disasters every time. So that's why I hooked up with AutoPot, and I am about to go on another vacation here, but I wanted to set up the smaller size in here. The other tent, again, I've got the 7 gallons in there, and this is the 3.9 gallon containers. I'll be able to put 6 in this 4x4, giving me a little bit more variety. So let's take a look at what was in the box. Get it set up and get growing together with the AutoPot system. Alright, so in the box I got all of the line, the hose that I will need. I'll be able to kind of cut this into the custom sizes that I want. I'll lay my pots out first and then run the lines, make sure everything fits, and then make my cuts. And to attach them, you've got your adapters here and you've got the grommet, so everything is watertight. Obviously good when you're working with water. This goes into your flexi tank reservoir there. That's where all the water is kept. And I kind of got a little excited. I started setting it up over there. Sue me. But no, don't sue me, for real. This goes onto that, and then it connects to the hose. I'm going to show you guys this. I'm just really basically going through what was in the box. And again, everything here is times 6 because it's a 6-pot system. We've got our root blocker, so it blocks the roots from going through the pot, getting into the pump, causing any trouble there. We've got the air bases, which is cool because I do not have these on my 7-gallon pots, and I already see in the setup that there is a different step I need to take when using these. So glad I'm making a video for this one. But similar to the other AutoPot system, we've got our Aqua Valve 5. This kind of makes the magic happen, keeps the water at the right level and the plant's happy. And obviously this goes kind of in the back of here. You run your line in through there. I'll show you. The lid goes on, boom, your pot sits in there, which I did get one of as well. So yeah. Oh, and the flexi tank in the back too. Gosh, I just can't stop playing with these things. I want to get this set up already. Alright, so first we're going to take our hose, we're going to put it at the connection point, and then we're going to stretch it out all the way to where it needs to go, and then we cut it with our scissors. Cutting the hose is really easy. All you need is just a basic pair of scissors, and boom, easy to cut, make it nice straight cut. Voila. Real quick, I just want to walk you through setting up one of these AutoPots, because if you set up one, you can literally set up 100. Same thing, every one. So let's walk through this real quick. I've cut my hose, but I haven't attached it to the other connection point yet because I want to do that last. We have the grommet to put in first on this tray. Alright, so we're going to take this grommet and we're going to put it into the hole here. If you need to get a little bit of grease on it, seriously, rub the fingers on the side of the nose, rub it on here, and then slide it in. It should kind of overlap a little, so you kind of have to turn it and twist it as you put it in. But there you go. That's how to install the grommet. Next, you want to take your hose, you want to feed it through, and we'll give it a little bit more than it needs because we'll pull it back out in a second. But we've got it through, and that's enough. The reason I wanted that extra slack is because we still have to put our aqua valve on, and that actually starts by unscrewing this black piece here. Unscrew it all the way, and then put it over the hose because it's going to clamp it back down. So now you've just got the hose, you've got the exposed end here of where to attach it. Pretty simple. You just kind of work it in there. Alright, so now I've got it all the way up to the threads, and I bring that little black cap back up right here, and it just goes on the threads, and it screws in tight to hold the hose. So you'll see a little black T back here. It's rising up above this. That's important. That little T is going to line up with this area of the aqua valve to secure it. So obviously it doesn't fit there because we need to pull our line through from the other side. Get that pulled through. Get that lined up with the T. Push it down. And now the aqua valve is secured. Last thing you want to do is this thing, make sure it's lined up. That blue part needs to cover that little hole. Sometimes if that gets jostled, it'll be out of skew. Not often, but in packaging and when you put it there, yeah, it can happen. So just make sure that when you close this, that little blue thing covers the hole and your aqua valve is good to go. Next, you take your cover, put your cover on there. Oops. There we go. Slide it back into place. And I'm going to get it connected to the main line. The next step of the process involves taking the root blocker and the air base and putting them into the pot and then adding some soil. So let's do that. So we're going to take our root blocker and we're going to put it in with the gold side up. That's how you want to do it. This is going to block any roots from getting through. Next, we're going to add our air base. Now, if I was using a pump and it had, you know, the little dome, this would go in, this would sit right over it, and that's how the air would get to the roots. But I'm not, and I don't, so I put this back in, and voila, this is how water gets in, and then the roots kind of get down through here, and there's capillary action that brings it up. But it's pretty simple. You just put this in, and then now we need to add a little bit of substrate. One of the main setup differences between the 3.9 gallon and my 7 gallon AutoPots is with the 7 gallons, I don't have the air base. So I used Hydroton, the little clay balls, as a base layer to put my medium on. With this one, with the air base, you just put your medium right on it. And there's kind of a special little trick they recommend. So just get a little bit in there right now, kind of get it started. But you saw those holes? Go in and just kind of sift it down and make sure that those holes get dirt down in there, because the roots will grow in there, and then those roots will suck the water up through capillary action. And if you're not sure what capillary action is, definitely check out the video of Just One Thing I did with Brandon from KIS Organics. Talk all about it. So now I will go ahead and add in the rest of my medium, put my plant in, and we're off to the races. We've got our flexi tank set up now, and as you can see, the nozzle that it comes out, it's at or just a little bit above the hole of the tent where it's going to go in. Again, this is a gravity fed system, but down here I've got my hose and I've got the blue adapter to get it from the flexi tank to the hose into the AutoPot. So let's set that up here. So we've got the main spigot coming out of the flexi tank. Now this valve, this is a on-off. Closed, open, closed, open. So make sure it's closed while you set this up and as you pour the water in, otherwise it's going to come rushing out. But getting the adapter attached here, really easy. Basically this blue thing slides back a little bit. All you got to do, pull it down, slide it on, you hear it click, let go. Awesome. That's it. Once that is on, just take the hose, slide it on here, and you're good to go. We've got our hose coming in the tent from our flexi tank, and before we get this attached to any of our lines here that run and feed our trays, a couple things very important. This red dot right here on the adapter, that is like an on-off switch for your system. You'll put one on the very beginning of your line, and you also want to put one on the very end of your line. End of the line, you can drain it, obviously drain it into something, but at the beginning of the line it acts as your on and off, because you'll add water into the flexi tank and it's going to come to this valve. If you weren't quite ready for it yet, if you were still top feeding in your trays, you want to keep it closed. So, closed is it's a water drop, the dot up, and to open it, sideways. So sideways water drop, it's open. Water drop up, it is closed. Pretty simple. And all you have to do now at this point is just take your hose coming in from the flexi tank and attach it. Boom. And then when your plants are ready to turn the system on, just turn this on and let the water flow. And there you have it. We've set up our AutoPot one pot system, and I've got my clones. They're in the 1 gallons right now. I'm going to give it a little few days, and then I'm going to transfer them into these. Once I transfer them into these, I'm going to continue to top water for about another week or two. That's important to remember because, again, this is a bottom feeding system, and if your roots are at the bottom of your 1 gallon and then you put it into your 3.9 gallon, there's no roots at the bottom. So you need to give it about a week or two, let the roots grow to the bottom. That's where they'll catch that water, wick it up, and have happy, perfectly watered praying plants all the time. And I'm using the Sohum Living Soil because that has all the nutrients my plants will need for the full run. So not only have I taken watering out of the equation, I've taken feeding out of the equation. That gives new growers the opportunity to just focus on their plants. How's it growing? How's it looking? What does it want to do? Completely to their benefit. So taking the hard stuff out of the game. If you guys want to try AutoPots yourself, definitely go to their website. They've got a ton of cool products. Be sure to use my discount code. Works on all of the products over there. But if you want to keep finding content from me, I appreciate it. My website is chadwestport.com. Also on Instagram, chad.westport. And right here on YouTube, Chad Westport. So, this is the new AutoPot system. I am going to go on vacation and have healthy plants when I come home for once. Couldn't be happier. And again, whether you're a new grower or an experienced grower, everybody can find a benefit and purpose with this system. So I'll enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it, or at least you enjoyed the video. But until the next time, everybody, party on.